This is the most beautiful water I've ever seen. Look at it. Wow. Just no Photoshop, no saturation, pure blue. Wow. Crystal clear. Look at that log underneath the water. Oh, so gorgeous. Glacier National Park.
Just a giant fin. Oh, then look at the pyramid made of awesomeness.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We'll call it Quest to the Sun.
Quest to the Sun.
Oh, no, my water. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Up and Overloaded. My name is Tim Notier and this is my lovely wife,
Marisa Notier.
We travel the world two up and overloaded, if you will, on our KTM 1190 Adventure R.
We've been through the Americas, we've been halfway up through Africa, and in this season we are coming back from the top of Alaska through Canada, and we have just entered back into the United States.
This is true. In our last episode, we kind of had a bummer day.
We did.
It started off pretty cool and breezy, if you will. In the slump, and a pretty crappy motel where somebody tried to screw us over, to scam us. But she's the cheerleader, and so her positive energy and her, she was like, let's get back into the groove of this. We're better than this. But she was able to rejuvenate my spirits, and yeah, we decided to indeed go to the sun via a road.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Going to the Sun Road.
Bam.
I felt that the road itself, just being on the motorcycle and seeing beautiful scenery, enjoying riding on a motorcycle, was going to lift our spirits. We were very close to what is considered to be one of the most beautiful national parks of the United States, and that is Glacier National Park.
Yeah, buddy.
And in order to traverse Glacier National Park by road, it has this one awesome road that goes through it, and it's called Going to the Sun.
And we're right at, this was going to close down within weeks, I think. So this was like, if every good day, people just migrated to it like Mecca,
Yes.
We pulled in, and there's a little bit of a line. We had our little national park pass. We got in, and immediately there's a little bridge, and I was excited because you can see the valley going up into beautifulness, and there's this little river.
We are in Glacier National Park. Yay! Wow.
And there's some cows that walked halfway across the river and got stuck on some little island and then got too scared to keep going.
These poor cows, they were stuck on an island in the river.
They refused to move.
Oh!
That's all it took to rekindle my spirits.
Yes.
Marisa's influence and some stranded cows on an island. It made me feel like there's a lot of positives in this world.
Going to the Sun Road begins right when the national park begins from St. Mary. It goes along in the beginning this beautiful lake called St. Mary. And the lake is just this color of deep blue.
And we're kind of in like this valley of two sides of it, and that's where the lake is nestled. But it almost felt like we were encompassed, like we were in some kind of crater. So it looked like a big crater lake, even though, you know, it's just this regular standard lake.
Regular standard lake.
Non-cratered.
It was a beautiful regular standard lake.
It was a very beautiful lake. So we made sure that we were going to take as many pictures as we wanted, pull off at any opportunity, absorb the day, get some of the negative energy out from the previous day, and be a loving and happy couple.
That's right. So one of the first things we noticed when we got into the park was not only was it beautiful and that Lake St. Mary was gorgeous, but there were a lot of people.
Yeah, when we pulled into the park, like every little offshoot and little parking area, you know, was full of cars.
But it really blew my mind because, yes, granted, it was a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
The weather was absolutely perfect, and also it was a Saturday. But besides all of that, I couldn't believe that there were all these people who had made it to this remote corner of Montana. Went slow and steady through.
Yeah.
There's really only one way to go. It's just the going to the sun road.
Yeah.
And everyone's just kind of piled along this. You got one lane on one side and oncoming traffic on the other side, and that's it.
Yeah. But the views just got grander and grander. We break into these valleys with these vistas into
Logan Pass. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely amazingly beautiful. But I mean, one of the prettiest national parks,
Yes.
and it's so hard to commit to that, but I mean, it
really is up
was
there.
absolutely gorgeous.
The whole time we kept thinking to ourselves that it reminded us of this epic journey. Even the name Going to the Sun,
Yeah,
it just
right.
sounded like we were on a quest.
I don't know if it's a butte or a mountain or something pretty to look at. We did come on a weekend, so there's some traffic, but it's alright. It's pretty. Yeah. I'd rather have a lot of traffic and good weather than no traffic and no sights.
Exactly.
Going to the Sun was part of an old Blackfeet legend that said that Sour Spirit, which was one of the
That
deities,
was me. In life's
Sour
past.
Spirit,
Yes.
came from the sun to teach the Blackfeet about how to hunt and fish. And then on his way back up to the sun, he made an imprint on a mountain, and it is called Going to the Sun Mountain. And so the road that goes by the mountain has since been named Going to the Sun Road.
Bam. There's fact. You get a different perspective if you're cliffside versus your like the edge of the cliffside, if
Yes.
you will, right?
Yes.
You can either go all the way through the park and then back around south out of it, you know, but in my mind, I'm like, at some point, whenever we get to a point where it goes back down into normal stuff, let's turn around and go back and head the other way, because it was too pretty just to do once.
As we lowered down from Logan Pass, we got into this more foresty area with the beautiful yellow trees that were turning for the fall colors. And we decided this is a perfect time to eat our snacks that we had packed up for the day and have a good rest stop. This is a nice little dry creek bed. where we can find a good rock to eat on.
I had a turkey sandwich.
I did too.
And some peanuts and stuff. Oh, it was just absolutely gorgeous.
That water was so clear.
Yeah.
You could see straight down to the bottom. Unbelievable. After our lunch, we continued following that little creek. It was McDonald Creek, and the colors of the creek, we stopped again to take a look at this little waterfall area. It was such a deep green, crystal clear color.
Yeah.
I would call it turquoise, but I think it was greener than that.
It was crazy. It was just the craziest water. It was too cold
Yeah.
to like enjoy and bathe in on like a chilly day, but like I can imagine that if it was very hot, that would be beautiful.
Look at the color of these waters.
And then there was like trees that had fallen into the water, and you can see right down to them.
Even
It
from
was
up
just-
high
yeah.
on this cliff, looking down into the river, if there was a fish this big, we would have been able to see
Yeah.
it. So eventually we were coming to the end of the Going to the Sun road. We turned around and decided, all right, this is going to be
Went back to the moon.
end of our epic quest, and we are going to go all the way back.
Yeah. And it was totally worth it.
It was.
It was, I mean, just the different angles and different perspectives of everything you see going this way is just, you know, you can
Yeah.
delve deeper into it.
So stunning.
That was stunning. Ooh, and then there's the Dwarven Kingdom. You can tell.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, you could totally imagine the
Yeah.
Elven city on these slopes, bathed in the sunlight with the falling leaves.
Yeah, poetry. The sun hitting
So-
something and some Dwarven ruins. Glow gold on the second day of the third month on the 4th hour. Yeah, road to the sun. Amazing.
It's a fantasy road.
It is. I'm glad we're not going to enter the realm of the Dark Elves because it's like much more dark and gloomy.
Mordor.
Yeah. We want less door here, folks.
Wow.
And we continued to pull over at different little rest stops.
There was Birdwoman Falls.
Birdwoman Falls. If there was ever a rare little pocket that there was no cars in, I'd flip around real quick and Marissa take a little picture or video of me and make it pretend like we're the only ones there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was just an overall good day. It was really what we needed to lift our spirits.
It looks like there's insanely giant condors or something that like just pooped on the rock. So now The rock all the way top of the plate. There'll be dragons.
All the fireweed is filling the air with little magical seeds.
Saying go home now or forever be frozen.
All the stress from the day before was just completely wiped away by the glory of this road.
Ooh,
we
the
were
glory,
having such a good day, and we were back to being us again.
Yeah.
Whatever monsters and gremlins had taken control of us the day before,
I was that grumpy,
they were gone.
that grumpy mountain god. What was
You sour spirit.
Sourpuss spirit. He dissipated out of me. The sun had washed it away.
That was one of my favorite. Just a little dusting of powdered sugar. Look at that, folks. Glorious.
Once we were out, we felt very refurbished.
Revived.
Revived is a better word.
Got out of there, folks.
We started heading towards just southeast because that was the general direction that we were going.
Yeah, we were just going to go across Montana next. So we were really heading east, and we knew that the next big town, was going to be the town of Cut Bank. And we figured we'd be able to find something there. Totally willing to use one of our Temple of Moto splurges on a luxurious hotel room for the night. I think we really needed it. I think we really deserved it after the horrible day before. Hey, considering we had such an awful night last night, I'm very happy to be in an excellent hotel. I think we really need just to have a bit of luxury and some really good rest in a warm place. We've had such a fantastic day that I guess we're kind of spoiling ourselves. So Temple of Moto is a motorcycle tour company that goes all over the United States to different national parks. And you got to check out their website to see if they go to Glacier National Park. And you too can go on Going to the Sun Road.
It was absolutely magical, and
so
you will stay at a glorious place.
Yes, their accommodations are amazing. So check out templeofmoto.com.
We pulled up to a nice little town, and it was like your regular like Hotel 8 or it was like a real hotel. It wasn't like Bob's Backcountry Bushtel. It was a nice one.
Which is nothing against Bob's Backcountry Bush Hotel, because those can be awesome, and we love the little mom and pop places.
For sure.
But this one was also very nice.
Sometimes you want that like fake new hotel's room spray smell. And you're like, yeah, that smells what we
fake.
need. The night before was so bad, and then this day was so awesome. We just wanted a really good night's rest.
And we were blessed in the evening.
But as the sun began to set, we were right next to this trellis, as Marisa would... Trestle. We were so close. What is a trellis? Is that
That's for plants to go up.
This is for trains to go across.
Yes.
But the sun was setting, and it was just like this. We were in Montana, right? But this was, I had woken up in Oklahoma. This was like an Oklahoma sunset with train tracks going into the hills and these little baby mountains. Well, huge mountains, but now they're small on the horizon. And I was like,
Unbelievable.
yeah, this is good.
Perfect.
And we loved each other again.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Aww.
So it was
a successful quest to the sun.
this is true, and we had returned, and we had destroyed the
Sour spirit.
of Tim.
So, our next quest was going to be our journey across the northern states of the plains back to Chicago. We did not think anything exciting was going
We
to
thought
happen
we were
to
done.
us.
We thought this was the apex, folks.
But no.
But no. Snow Park. You ever heard of it?
No, we're not talking about it yet.
No, we're not talking about
no.
nothing. You can mute that out. So I'm like, no, I will scramble it.
So stay tuned for the next episode, and I hope you liked this one. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Ding, ding. And we'll be seeing you next time.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Peace. I had returned as a loving, once and future husband.
The sweet spirit.
Yes, sweet. The mildly grumpy had returned, but.